Hello, Dr. Brant Hulsebus here, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. Ask the Chiropractor is my little podcast that I do when someone has a question about chiropractic or chiropractic care. I try to answer. I'm a chiropractor here in Rockford, Illinois. I'm a proud graduate of Palmer College of Chiropractic, and I'm happy to be the team chiropractor of the Rockford Ice Hogs. Let's dive into it. Hello and welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. Today I want to talk about a topic that as chiropractors we're fatigued about talking about. The New York Post, January 28th, ran an article, 29-year-old dies after going to a chiropractor to treat crack her neck during a workout. This is a story of somebody who went to the way it's presented as somebody that went to a chiropractor, didn't survive the chiropractic adjustment. But I like to break this story down and say this is not a thing about chiropractic. This is a thing about a negligent physician, which happens on all levels of all types all the time. But the way the media always tries to spin it is they try to make it seem like chiropractic is dangerous. Negligent people are dangerous. Most chiropractors out there, I would say almost all of us, try our hardest to follow the rules, do our research, use our science, do our knowledge before we take care of somebody. But what happened was this person went to somebody who delivered horrible chiropractic care to this patient. It would be no different than if I went to a random cardiac surgeon in an alley and said, I need a heart transplant, and they do it for me and I don't survive. We don't blame heart surgeons, we don't blame cardiac surgeons, we blame the dumb that was doing the heart surgery in the alley. So let me break this down. First thing that's really important in this story, when you look at it, it didn't happen in North America. It happened in Europe. Now, why is that important? I'm very active in the International Chiropractic Association, and we talk a lot about reciprocity, where somebody comes in with a chiropractic degree from a different country. Can they get licensed in America? Can they get licensed in the state of Illinois, where I am? And the answer is not always true. Majority of the time, the answer is no. There's very few international chiropractic colleges that are recognized here in North America. And I stress North America, I should say US and Canada and part of the Caribbean. Because we have first of all, chiropractic was invented in America by a Canadian, Dr. Palmer. So we're very founded in America and Canada. And so we've had the oldest licensures, oldest practices in America and Canada. So chiropractic has its beginning in North America. So when it comes to regulating chiropractic and having the rules and laws, there's nobody that's done chiropractic longer than America and Canada. So we have some of the national boards, we have some of the strict licensure, and our education, our schools are under the same guidance of any other school, medical school, dental school, optometry school, any kind of school. So our education here is far above and beyond what it is a lot of other places. I know some people have come to me, actually into my office from parts of Asia, where they took a weekend course to become a chiropractor and wanted to talk to me about different moves. I just sent them to Palmer College and told them to sign up. I wasn't going to entertain that. Various parts of the world, chiropractic isn't what it is here. Being that this happened in Europe, that's to me already, okay, we got to look into this because maybe you can go to a great college like Palmer College or one of the other schools in North America. And there are other schools outside North America, don't get me wrong. They're just far and few. Okay? Next, it was reported this person already knew that they had an artery hemorrhage in their neck. They'd already gone to a physician and was told that, but wanted to seek alternative ways to get rid of this artery in the neck. It's not that the chiropractor adjustment tore the artery. The artery was already documented to have already been torn. It was already an issue, right? And so when this artery in your neck is torn, one of the number one side effects of the torn artery is severe neck pain. This is why a lot of people end up going to the chiropractor when this artery is torn, because a lot of people go to the chiropractor when they have severe neck pain. This is not earth-shattering news. A lot of people go to the dentist when their tooth hurts. But as chiropractors, we're trained to recognize that it could be a vascular injury, more so than a musculoskeletal injury. So we're trained to identify this and learn this and immediately get them to where they need to be. Now, as a side note, a lot of times when we send them somewhere, we still get blamed. Even though we don't do nothing, we just put them in an ambulance and get them where they need to be. And the media still reports that we did something. Yeah, we saw a problem, we got them where they needed to be, but yet a lot of times in this profession, we still get blamed for doing something, even though all we did was take a history and get them out of our office to where they needed to be, in the emergency room. So this person had already been there. They'd already been in the emergency room. They already had this artery that was torn in their neck, already diagnosed, already said that you have a major problem in your neck. This has to be addressed. This person didn't want to do medical treatment and went somewhere else. So they end up going to a chiropractor, I guess, either in their gym or down the street from their gym. I don't know how much it sounds like a overall established clinic, more like, when I read the article, it's more like just somebody in a gym who did a chiropractic adjustment, or what they claim to be a chiropractic adjustment. Again, I say what they claim to be a chiropractic adjustment because a lot of people got hurt when they tried to do research on chiropractic care before. However, none of the care was given by a chiropractor. It was given by a physical therapist. It was given by a PT. It was given by massage people. None of the research was actually done by a chiropractor. So that research was thrown out too, saying that chiropractic adjustments hurts when none of them are actually given by a trained chiropractor. But in this one right here, there was a CT. It was all done. There was no doubt this was there. The chiropractor failed to obtain a history. The chiropractor failed to obtain any prior medical knowledge of this patient and do their due diligence before treating somebody. Now, again, that's just somebody being negligent. That's not the profession. That's somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. I even said this patient self-discharged themselves from the hospital and went down to the chiropractor afterwards. Immediately after having the adjustment, the patient's symptomatology went off the charts, which is another major red flag to get them out and get them somewhere. But I understand that didn't really happen. But again, none of that has to do with the profession. It has to do with somebody being negligent and being a physician and calling themselves a chiropractor. So this is what we typically see. We typically see that there's 45 different factors of someone just being really bad, claiming to be a chiropractor, but doing it really poorly. And the media likes to portray it as if we're a dangerous profession, as if you came to the chiropractor, you're putting your life in your own hands. And as a chiropractor, I'm just frankly tired of it. We don't see this every time a medical doctor, like a family physician, gets in trouble for doing something, because it happens. You can check the internet, right? You can see people of all walks of life do bad things. But we don't blame the whole medical profession when somebody, as a medical physician, practices bad. We don't blame the entire dentistry profession when there's a bad dentist. We report on this individual. We, a lot of times, even have their name in the article saying, Dr. blah, 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 committed the following act. That doesn't usually say a dentistry is committing the following acts. But whatever reason, the media is very biased towards chiropractors. And they just put down another chiropractor victim, which is ludicrous. This is just a bad, negligent situation. Whether or not they were fully trained as a chiropractor is up in the air. Now, if they were in Canada or North America, U.S. Virgin Islands or something like that, and they had a license, I could tell you, then they had to go through all the scrutiny. But over in Europe, I can't say that. I wish I could, but I can't. We're trying to get that established, get that done, but you just can't. I don't think a lot of us would want to go see a medical physician or have surgery in a third world country. And most of the world, chiropractic is still that way. Unfortunately, luckily, it's getting better, growing every day. And it's getting better every day, but things like this are massive setbacks. So again, the media tries to portray us as dangerous. Now, here's my logic. If I was dangerous, and the people came to see me, and we've been open for 75 years, over 75 years, and people kept having strokes and dying, why would people still keep coming? Why would we get referrals? Why would more people continue to show up at our office if we were that dangerous? If we were that dangerous, wouldn't the state or the regulatory boards put a stop to us? When there's other things that are bad, like they give somebody a medication, and we find out 6 months into the medication's bad, do we let the medications ride out and say, oh, they're dangerous, stay away from them? No, we pull the medication from the shelves. If chiropractic was so dangerous, why would it still exist? Another question. Malpractice rates. Malpractice rates are based on the volume of claims, things that go wrong. If chiropractic caused so many strokes and so many people to, quote unquote, pass away, Why would our malpractice rates be outrageous? It would almost be impractical to get malpractice insurance. We just saw all of California burn down and they can't get fire insurance because they know it's too high of a risk of fire, so they won't give them insurance. If chiropractors were causing so many injuries and so many things to go wrong with these people, but the vertebral artery causing people to stroke and causing people to die, wouldn't our malpractices be outrageous? Surely it wouldn't be the cheapest of any kind of healthcare provider, which it currently is. Surely our malpractice rates would be astronomical. So sometimes you just have to use common sense and logic. If we were really that dangerous, would we really still be here? So when you see articles like this, and people come at me all the time with stuff like this. Look what I just saw. I get emails, people send me on Facebook Messenger, and I like to read them and dissect really what happened. And in this case, there's no doubt that this was just a negligent person claiming to have chiropractic education. Maybe they don't, I don't know. A country part of the world where chiropractic isn't 100% regulated, if it makes you iffy. But we know for a fact that this person, the person who had the injury, already knew they had problems and already went to a chiropractor with those problems, and it got worse. And you should be able to ask a chiropractor, hey, am I okay to have that treatment with this artery done? I've had people come here in my own practice with injuries to that artery, and they say, is it okay to have my neck done a certain way? I say, absolutely not. We cannot do that. Now, we can do a lot of other things, but we can't do certain things. And that's what we know as chiropractors. So when someone says, don't get a chiropractic adjustment because of this little injury right here, we know 14 different ways to adjust the first bone in your neck. There's other ways of doing things. There's other ways of working around it. And not only that, but if you have one injured vertebrae, there's a lot of vertebrae. We could probably still work on all the rest of them. So don't let anyone do that. Make sure you go to a respectable, honest chiropractor. You can look them up on the internet today more better than ever. Look at their reviews, look at their standing, look at what they're involved in associations. Typically chiropractors that are negligent, you're going to see that real quick on their reviews and their things like that. Again, that happens in every field. It happens in the person that fixes my car. There's good places, there's bad places. The person that, any profession, okay? So don't believe the media when they write stuff like that. Go take the article in, discuss it with your chiropractor. Should be able to break it down like I just broke this one down and explain to you really what happened. So there you have it. So if you have questions about chiropractic or chiropractic care, don't believe the media. Don't take anybody else's word for what chiropractic can do, but go to an honest, respectable chiropractor and ask your question. If you'd like me to answer your question, leave a comment below. Click like, subscribe, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks.